I would like to begin with the famous quote of the English philosopher and mathematician Alfred North Whitehead: "God is the poet of the world with tender patience, leading it by his vision of truth, beauty, and goodness." Unquote. The picturesque view of the trees and a rainbow in the sky captured in the evening of 7th of June 2024 at 6:03 p.m. Indian Standard Time resonates the same. During the academic year 2024 to 2025, I can affirm that I have evolved as a poet. An anthology of 40 poems composed during this academic year manifest through varied themes related to water, the branches of a tree, the wings of a bird, the wings of an airplane, thinking out of the box, and building a lifelong learning city. All these poems were composed after reflecting on these themes. A day begins accessing a source of water. Various water sources like a glass of water, a lake, a seawater desalination plant, a water cannon, and a sea have been highlighted in the poems under the theme Drops of Water. A quest for knowledge in conserving water resources and the role of the hydrologist who coexist with amphibians and aquatic life is also reflected in the poems. The poems are: Walter pours a glass of water, the hydrologist greets the crocodile in the lake, Walter finds the flood gauge, Walter takes a detour to the seawater desalination plant, a shiver of sharks, and the wise water cannon. The branches of a giving date palm tree, the window view of squirrels on a branch of a tree from a classroom, and the Christmas agamograph transform the perspective of the school teacher poet. Under the title The Branches of a Tree, the poems composed are Takeaway 7, The Window View, and the Christmas Agamograph. Avian life cannot be disregarded or ignored. Existential reality of bird strikes, electromagnetic radiation, an unpredicted fall from the path of light, and predator-induced fear in birds is vocalized in the poems composed and recited on the theme The Wings of a Bird. 40 feathers, the lineman's cat, the vitriolic vulture and the pecking order, and a sparrow's sorrow were the poems composed under this title. During the academic year June 2024 till March 2025, no air travel was undertaken by me. The vision of a wharf, an aerodrome, an airport, an aero modeling club, and an aircraft in the museum brings the very best of the poetic verses that were composed and recited. The 9-letter word redundant is adequate to clip the wings of an aviator and trigger displacement of a career or a livelihood in the sky. However, I have not yet lost my faith in aviation. This is reflected in all my poems, composed in the years 2024 and 2025, reflecting the theme of the wings of an airplane. Can an airmail pilot be served with a letter of becoming redundant? In the age of electronic mail and social media, is a thought-provoking question asked by me. Under the title The Wings of an Airplane, I have composed and recited A Flight to the Wharf, The Equine Air Transport Pilot, The Tribesman and the Aerodrome, The Airplane Toy Maker, The Aviators of the Hanno at 92, The Aerial Firefighting Pilot, The Airplane Tangram, and Why Do You Want to Fly? Divergent thinking and out-of-the-box thinking skills are required for an informed citizenry whose creativity is suppressed by varied circumstances and scenarios. One can think outside the confines of a room, classroom, staff room, and a boardroom, even if one cannot travel with ease. Stagnation dampens creativity. However, a creative spark can be unleashed in one's mind irrespective of the challenges posed in expressing one's own experiences, existential reality, and views through poetry. Under this title, the poems that were composed and recited are Walter Surveys the Industrial Warehouse, The Royal Portfolio, The Alligator Swarm School, The Striker of Displacement, Lunar and Planetary Craters, The Alphabets of Freedom, The Spider's Web Extension in the Classroom, and Expedited Flight, The Courteous Commuters, Fog Dispersal, and Catalyst of Change in the Corniche. Various stakeholders contribute, collaborate, and cooperate to build a lifelong learning city. Through my poems composed and recited, I have strived to encourage teachers, ceramic tiles artisans, tent makers, wastewater tanker workers, vehicle tire landfill workers, and aviators to develop a positive attitude by enrolling in skill-based training and continuing education programs and become proud lifelong learners. Stepping outside the confines of one's comfort zone and reflecting on urban elements during weekends or while commuting to one's place of work can lead to the creative thought process being unleashed in myriad ways. I have tried to create a lifelong learning city network through the characters in my poems composed and recited with confidence. It can be observed that a careful choice of words, if I did not find the right choice of words, was important in composition and recitation of poetry. Under the title Build a Lifelong Learning City, the following poems that were composed and recited by me are The Flying School, Sharjeel and Sharia repeat Kitta al Sulaibia, Tessellating Tiles with Rusli and Rakan, A Choice of Words, Teach Her Academy, The Dazzling White, The Relief Tent Makers, and The Sandstorm. I would like to conclude that myriad experiences bring out the best in poetry and offer a ladder to lifelong learning network for various stakeholders in a learning city. Thank you.